Hello, my name is Pam Olick, and I'm a technology integrator from Brevard Public Schools. Today, I want to take a few minutes to show you a nifty little timeline maker called Timeline.js. Timeline.js works with Google Spreadsheets to create visually engaging, interactive timelines that can be embedded into a Google site. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to show you a sample of what it is we're hoping to make. Here's a preview of a slideshow that of a timeline slideshow I actually created with Timeline.js. So you can see that it's a very visually appealing timeline. At the top, you have your specific cards or detailed information from your timeline. And at the bottom, you have an interactive timeline where you can zoom in or zoom out and scroll through the timeline to view your different events. You'll see a nice navigation piece from side to side, and this takes a normal pencil and paper timeline and really amps it up. My favorite feature about this timeline creation is the ability to create these layered timelines and give students a true sense of timelines, time, and linear storytelling. So to create your timeline, we're going to go to a website. You can search in Google or just go directly to timeline.nightlab.com. Now, I am already logged into my Google account. So before you create a timeline, you should be logged into your Google account that you want to save your spreadsheet in. In addition, if you're working with students and assigning this as a project, I suggest that you have them storyboard or prepare their timeline in advance, which will make it a lot easier for them to transfer the timeline into the spreadsheet. That will allow them more time for researching and the ability to customize and add in media such as graphics and videos. So on Timeline.js, we're going to click on the green button that says Make a Timeline. And we're going to be taken to a page with 4 steps of instructions. Now, keep in mind, we don't want to close this tab because when we're done creating our spreadsheet, we're going to come back to this page and we're going to put our link on the page in order to get our preview and our embed code. So let's go ahead and click on the Get the Spreadsheet template. And now you'll see their copy of the template. I'm going to go ahead and click on Use this template, and that's going to put a copy of the template in my Google Drive so that I can edit and I own it. Now that I've grabbed their template and made a copy of it for my own use to customize, I want to quickly walk through the actual template with you. Rows 2 through 9 in the template have items put in there just as an example for you to see what kinds of things you can put in or do with your timeline. The first row is your header row. This is the most important row in your timeline. Please do not delete this row because without it, your timeline interactive tool won't work. For the year, month, day, and time, this is where you should put the beginning of your event. If it's one specific day, and you don't have an end, you don't have to put anything in for the end time. Keep in mind with dates, you can put in as little or as much information as you have access to. Your headline is a title, the title for the card. If we look at it, our sample, this is what we're actually looking for the headline. So the headline is the title of the card. The text is, think of that as a subtitle or other information you want to include. Media, one of my favorite feature about this tool is in addition to the interactivity, is the fact that you can embed not only photos, but also videos that the viewer can click on and play, and tweets as well. Media credit, who you're going to give credit to the media for, and then what do you want to have under the pictures? That could be a link, more information. You generally skip media, thumbnail, and group. And background is a great feature for your kids who might be advanced or your early finishers, a way for them to go in and look at internet color codes and actually change the background of their slides or their timeline. Now let's look at the type column. You can start your slideshow with any slide within your timeline, with any particular event. Simply put the word, change the type to title for the slide that you want to start your presentation out. So let's go ahead and create our timeline. Remember that the information in the timeline should be chronological. If the students are working through the timeline and discover that they've put something out of order, they can always right-click on a row and insert one above or below in order to keep their timeline effective. You'll notice here that in this particular timeline, they don't have all the information filled out for every column. So again, remember that it's good to mix it up and not use the same types of things on every card within your timeline. Now I'm showing you a sample of a timeline that I created based from 6th grade's Florida Social Studies standards, a timeline of ancient India. So you can see that I have less information for dates because we're looking at ancient history and we don't have, we have more general dates. I have my headlines. I have text for the objects that I want my text for. I've got a mix of pictures and videos that I've put their links in to the media box. I've given credit to those that need it. And so let's go back to Timeline.js and read our directions. So I have completed my timeline. I've worked through it all, edited. Everything is in there that I want to say. So now I'm going to go ahead to my spreadsheet. I'm going to click on File, Publish to the Web. This is going to allow this slideshow to be viewed and published, and any changes that we make to the spreadsheet will be updated live to the Timeline Interactive. So I want a link to publish, and yes, I'm sure I want to publish it, and now I get the magical link. I hit Control-C to copy the link. And now I'm going to go back to my Timeline.js. Scroll down to direction number 3. I'm going to paste. I'm going to go ahead and paste my entire link there. I'm going to click on optional settings and see if there's anything there I want to change. We can change language. We can show the timeline in reverse. And I can change my fonts on my slide timeline if I want. Before I embed it into a website, I want to preview it. So I'm going to go through every slide and make sure everything looks good. My timeline down here is looking pretty good. Yeah, so once you're happy with it, we're going to go ahead, back up to number 4, and we're going to grab this embed code. We're going to select it all and copy it. For the purpose of today's tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and embed this into a Google site, but Timeline.js can be embedded into actually any web page. So I've created a website called Cool Google Tools, and I want to put this on my Extra and Cool Things tab. So in order to embed that timeline, I'm going to click on the pencil to edit my Google Sites page. And now I'm going to click on the HTML source. This is where I can paste and embed code. I'm going to hit my cursor where I want it on the page. I'm going to click down to the end of my current HTML, and I'm going to click Paste and click on Update. Right now, all you see is the actual gadget feature. Once I click Save at the top, you'll actually see your live living timeline. And that is Timelines.js. Lots of uses for linear storytelling and a great way to have kids summarize history. Thanks for joining me.